Hello to you. I'm Jesse R. Johnson. This is Cyber Warfare, World War III, which is taking place at this very moment, silently, in the digital realm. All countries are involved. It is bulletless and bombless. This is information security warfare. Its basics. This video is in 5 parts. This is Part 4. Please watch all 5 parts. This will give you an overall grasp of the world situation in the cyber war realm, which is accelerating, escalating, and becoming more ominous. Once again, this is Part 4. We'll start off in Part 4 here, exactly where we left off in Part 3. This included Rwanda, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Africa, Switzerland, Tajikistan, Thailand, and Togo, Tunisia, Turkey, Uganda, the UK, United Kingdom that is, the United States of America, Uzbekistan, Yemen, and Zambia. Spies use simple tools at times, such as simple phishing, emails, common chat services in common language, as well as coded. Now, China raided the United States of America's defense systems of aerospace, missiles, satellites, systems, nuclear propulsion, and weaponry. Google, Adobe, Intel, Juniper, defense contractors, Academia, Dow Chemicals, and Morgan Stanley, etc. Hold on, please. Now, let's see, Morgan Stanley, etc. Not to destroy, but to take and confiscate what others have. That's what China was doing. We'll go to number 26. Source code is the base for software and hardware. Code is one of the most valuable asset technology organizations have. Systems must crack these codes. Spies must crack these codes. Hackers are also crackers of code, even source code, the bedrock itself, the bedrock code. In the case of China, who considers pro-democracy activists, Tibetans, Muslims, pro-independent, Taiwanese, and Falun Gong practitioners to be poisoned. The Chinese political system uses its best zero-day exploit to harass and menace its own people by jailings and torture. In 2010, Chinese hackers compromised banks, non-government organizations, automakers, law firms, chemical companies, military, and trade secrets was taken. With Google, it had become 10 different companies. Google split into 10 different companies with subsidiaries. Google weaponized data. This means that programmers had to come to it and were paid to search for Google bugs so Google could strengthen its product data, D-A-T-A. 0 days and exploits to defeat Google Chrome's browser were priced at $80,000. To defeat Android exploits was $100,000. iPhone exploits were $500,000 and $2.5 million for an Android jailbreak bug. These are the most powerful bugs there is. Jailbreaks are very powerful spy tools. Some of the best 0 days exploits, jailbreaks come from Eastern Europe, South America, and Asia. And Microsoft was being weaponized by nation states and authoritarian regimes for espionage, surveillance, ransomware, and their own type of Stuxnet, S-T-U-X-N-E-T, and Aurora, A-U-R-O-R-A, takedown of elements of other nation states. They wanted to take down what they considered adversarial in other countries. In short, there are people in this world who are out to destroy you, and while remaining completely invisible. One of the most powerful bugs is the IE, or the Internet Explorer bug, able to produce so much information on a target from all levels of the Internet. all levels. That means dark web as well as the Marianas Trench web. There are public, dark web, and Marianas Trench web, making these webs make up the corporate web, the military web, the political webs, the economic webs, etc. Number 27, Chinese hacked into the Office of Personnel Management, which stores information for millions of federal employees and contractors, past and present, of the United States of America. Not to destroy, but to take. Other government agencies which were weak and vulnerable were the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, that is, which had over 7,300 vulnerabilities because the IRS had not patched its weaknesses. It was so easy to plainly downright cripple the IRS if anyone would have known this. The Department of Education was very computer bug illiterate. The Security Exchange Commission, the SEC that is, was also weak and vulnerable digitally. There are lone hackers, groups, small and large, hackers, well-funded organization hackers, and nation-state hackers. Nation-states are political and economic, and they are out to do the most stealing and damage to another country. All countries with cyber capacity and ability are all vulnerable to cyber attack. Taking control of multinational government agencies, infrastructures, etc. These and others are vulnerable to automated attack tools called implants that penetrate networks with exploits. What type of world we live in? Let me give you an example. Declassified United States cables of 1976 showed Secretary of State Henry Kissinger gave the green light to Argentina's military despot junta. That means their fascist junta, to engage in extreme, widespread repression, suppression, oppression, murder, carnage, genocidal acts, kidnappings, slaughter, and torture of its own citizens, its own people. This is what Henry Kissinger did. The United States of America is not a democracy and has never been and shall never be a democracy. The United States of America is a materially, reasonably well-off, mainly, not solely, mainly white man, controlled, white racist, white anti-American oppressor of black Americans for 380 years, and continual slow genocide of Native Americans for 230 years. It is an evil falling empire. That's right, the United States of America is an empire. It is an evil falling empire that promotes in its very government homosexuality and pedophilia, child molesting. And the United States of America is, in fact, one of the main producers of terrorism as a nation state on earth, and produces approximately 35% of all poverty economically worldwide. As a nation state, the United States of America has done this. And it has produced this poverty worldwide, because of market capitalist rules. And have made a lot, and this nation state, the United States of America that is, has made a lot of enemies. Not good. In today's cyber world, where every country can harm another country without bombs or bullets in a matter of seconds. That's really not good. And the worst United States America's body is the Democratic body. After the United States of America and Israel hit Iran, it was Iran's turn to hit and harm the United States of America and Israel back. In 2012, Iranians hackers hit Saudi Aramco, the world's largest and richest oil company, with malicious ware that demolished over 30,000 of its computers, wiped its data clean, put an image of a burning United States of America, that is, flag in its place, ruined Aramco's business systems, but not its production systems. This is what Iran did with only a fraction of the United States' cybernetic powers. ISIS is an Islamic group, was using encrypted apps and social media to recruit and to coordinate attacks in Europe, the UK, United Kingdom, that is, and the USA, United States of America, that is. ISIS attacked and United States of American ground, but ISIS attacked on USA ground, but making sure to cover that digital footprint. We'll go to 28. Cyber weapons, has a great capacity to destroy and shut down. This includes towns and cities in its own way, as much as guns and bombs have. Breaches from the United States of America's adversaries inside and outside the USA had hit the White House, State Department, intelligence agencies, an American bank, hospital systems, energy sectors, retailers, postal service included. Most United States of America's government secrets have already been looted. Putting in more, like the United States started doing, power plants, trains, planes, air traffic control, banks, trading floors, oil pipelines, dams, buildings, hospitals, homes, cars, etc., to an internet-type system with sensors and access points by the millions, while the United States of America's regulators did nothing to force private and public utilities, pipeline operators, water grids and water treatment plants, sewage plants, etc., to strengthen each one's digital security. Too busy thinking about offending others without thinking about how to defend itself. This is what the United States of America has been doing. It's a very bad philosophy. While listening to lobbyists, tell them to, while the government people are listening to lobbyists, tell them to do nothing in a disaster on national scale that's going to happen, built on a false sense of security, a false sense of safety, and military superiority simply will not work in this type of war. Iran now has a world-class cyber army. Iran put $1 billion into new cyber technology and its best hackers and code crackers into this. The Chinese pelted the United States of America with thousands of cyber attacks, death by 100,000 small cuts. Aurora, A-U-R-O-R-A, and Legion Yankee, Legionyankee, Legion Yankee, were only 2 of 24 or so bugs the Chinese used against the United States, hacking into United States of America's government agencies, businesses, universities, and its labs. Trillions, Trillion, trillions of dollars in blueprints, weaponry, intellectual property by the Chinese's PLA organization and others. This is what it came to. Tens of millions were clueless in the United States and China of what's going on in this type of war. 29. After Saudi Aramco by Iran, Iran went to harm United States of America's banks. Iran crippled the United States banks of America, J.P. Morgan, Citigroup, Capital One, the New York Stock Exchange by destroying their banking sites. These were denial of service attacks. This was done by total overwhelm of the United States' computer systems of banking. Russia fired digital weapons at Estonia in a month-long assault, almost crippling the small nation. The Iran attacks showed the United States its cyber weaknesses. It showed the United States its limits and showed the DHS, Department of Homeland Security that is, it was toothless and clawless to stop China's attacks, Iran's attacks, Russia's attacks. The United States of America had no coherent response from nation-state cyber attacks in 2012. In cyber attacks, the first assessment is almost always wrong. Iranian hackers breached U.S. Navy in 2013 and the Pentagon, the National Security Energy Labs, and Idaho Falls, which is a dam. What if Iran would have hit enough of cellular networks, financial systems, water facilities, or enough major electrical power grids? An Iran-born fellow named Ali Abbasi at a Miami conference for hackers took the stage and broke into computers that controlled a large power grid in less than 8 seconds in the United States. This is unforgivable vulnerability. Ali was looking at every possible way the world not only the USA, the world's industrial systems could be hacked with access to power grids, water facilities, etc. Sabotage was easy. Destroy data, blow up pipelines or chemical warehouses and so forth. Chemical plants by changing pressure and temperature gauge stats and switches. Derail passenger and freight trains, contaminate large-scale water supplies. In 2014, Iran, China, and Russia increasingly interfered in Ukraine's election systems and its power grids. North Korea destroyed approximately 70% of Sony Pictures computers. Hollywood is a community in empty name only. They do not come to help each other. Hollywood is a community in empty name only. To continue now, in 2015, because of Iran's nuclear ambitions and China's cyber attacks, Obama, President of America at that time, Obama made a deal with each one of these. Made a deal with China and Iran. When Trump took office, he removed these deals, a very bad decision for the safety of the United States of America. Virtually all telecommunications systems, water facilities, sanitation facilities, transportation and health care depends on the power grid, which is vulnerable to disruption from cyber attacks. We'll go to number 30. The United States of America lives on borrowed time. Other nation states mean not only to hurt, but to destroy the United States of America. And with internal madness and confusion, the United States of America is only making it easier. Russia was using a bug called black energy, BLACKENERGY, to siphon off what it needed in the future for an attack against the USA. This bug was used to attack a large Polish energy company. Sandworm, SANWORM, Sandworm from Russia, was also doing harm. This targeted the .CIM, the .BCL files used by General Electric, GE. Industrial Control Simplicity, spelled CIMPLICITY. Industrial Control Simplicity software used the world over. This type of hardware is used the world over. Hence, Russia was breaking into it. And it is used to check PLCs that control the world's water treatment facilities, electrical utilities, transportation companies, oil and gas pipelines. Another bug called Kill Disk, KILLDISC, wiped Ukraine's TRK TV station computer clean of data. There are many techniques to download bugs. Some of them are shutting down power grids in winter, and a nation's phone lines is an act unprecedented in digital cruelty. We'll go to 31. Now, the bug Heartbleed, HEARTBLEED, was a zero-day flaw in OpenSSL, an open source tool used to encrypt internet traffic used by Amazon, Facebook, FBI, Pentagon's weapon systems. The error, Heartbleed, allowed anyone to extract data. That was the error. That Heartbleed, the Heartbleed bug, allowed anyone to extract data, even from encryption keys. Even the Russian, Chinese, etc., 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 could not believe the USA were so relaxed and weak on security. In 2014, Russian hackers nosed and sniffed around voter rolls in all 50 states, breached Arizona's voter registration, Illinois' voter data system. At this time, Trump proved to be clueless in major foreign policy points. Trump is loyal only to himself. Now, to continue, and Joe Biden is 2 times even worse. Trump is loyal to himself, and Joe Biden is 2 times worse. Then came the shadow brokers, SHADOW, BROKERS. Then came the shadow brokers who put online a cache of zero-day exploits that could break into almost and the most powerful firewalls everywhere. Put it online for free, FREE, for anyone and everyone. These codes and algorithms to exact mass destruction. The shadow brokers did not do this for profit. Now, we will start on part 5, exactly where we left off here in part 4. And we will, this video is in 5 parts. Please watch part 1, 2, and 3 if you have not. And watch them several times if you must, to absorb the information on them. I know that I've, well, never mind. But nonetheless, I want to, oh yes, share and subscribe. Share and subscribe. And have a fine day. And we will catch each other on part 5.